Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at the DX Zetsumerise key set from Kamen Rider 01. This was a premium Bandai set, and basically what it is the first 4 Zetsumerise keys that were previously either Candy Toy or Gashapon exclusives have now been given DX keys, and they come with the cracked plates, so when you can use them with the Zetsumerise, it looks show accurate. So if you already bought these, either Candy Toy or Gashapon, and you don't really care enough to get the DX set, I could understand that. But if you like the correct faceplates like I do, and you'd rather have a DX key with lights and sounds as opposed to just sounds, then this could be something you're interested in. Pretty small box, I have to say, but effective. I think it, cuts down on packaging, which is always good. You can see the 4 forms of the monsters there when they use these keys in the Zetsumerise. All the batteries are included, which is always nice. And then here they are on the back with the cracked faceplates, which I think look pretty cool. So, simple packaging, but nice. Very nicely detailed. Nice artwork, I should say. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get everything out of the box here, and we're going to take a closer look. Here they are out of the box. You can see we have Kuene. I always pronounce these incorrectly, and half the time what's written on the key is not exactly what the key says, but... So there's an extra syllable, N-A-O. There's no O written on there. So the sounds are pretty much exactly the same as the Candy Toy or Gashapon key as far as I can tell. But of course now it has a light. Taking a look on the back, 105. And of course what you can do is pop this off. It just pops off just like that. And then we're going to bring in the cracked one. I think they look really, really good. I love what they've done with the cracked plates. Very nicely detailed, very nicely painted. You just take this and you just pop it right in. Very simple to do. Next up we have Barotha. And that is 104. And then you just pop this off, bring in the new cracked plate. Very nice. Next up we have Ekuru, I think is how they say it. There you go. Pop that one off. Bring in the cracked plate. And they all pretty much have the same, like, cracked design. If you look at it like tree branches, you can see that they're all pretty much the same. So they didn't differentiate, like, how they're cracked in any way, but I still think it's cool. And then he is 101. And then we have the squid here, Naoshi. Number 102. Pop the plate off and bring in the new one. I'm pretty much just going to leave the cracked plates on for the rest of the review. I like them better. I think they're cool. So that's pretty much it for the keys on their own. They don't do a ton on their own. Like most Progress keys, they have about 2 sounds. But I'm going to bring in, because they're supposed to be meant with the Zetsumerise, I'm going to do that first. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and pop these in. So sadly, as you can hear, they pretty much all make the exact same sounds in the Zetsumerise because they all say Zetsumerise or Zetsume as the ability. So they look great, but they kind of have the same functionality. But the nice thing is, because they're DX keys, they're going to have all new sounds and functionality in the other roleplay items that the Candy Toy Gashapon equivalents did not have. So let's try these guys out in the 01 driver. I'm going to move these three off to the side real quick. There you go. Large collar similar to a boomerang. So because it's a DX now, when I did the authorize, the key actually said authorize. Candy Toy and Gashapons don't do that. Plus they actually add sounds to the impact now, which is nice. A size? All right. So it's nice. Like I said, the sounds are pretty similar to the Candy Toy and Gashapon ones, but now the DX key has more sounds coming from it to add to the sounds from the driver, whereas the Candy Toy Gashapon ones didn't have the authorized, didn't have the attack or explosion sounds to pair with the impacts. So it's nice to have all of that stuff now that the Candy Toy and Gashapons did not have before. But next up, we'll check out the Shot Riser. Alright, so we'll go ahead, move these off to the side. So normally with a Candy Toy or Gashapon, you'd only get that one sound, but because they're DX now, So I think it's pretty cool. I like having the extra functionality out of the keys. I mean, a lot of the sounds are repetitive. The 2 blast sounds for all 4 of these are pretty much the same thing, but I still think it's neat that you're basically tripling the amount of functionality each one of the keys has with the shot riser as opposed to the Candy Toy Gashapon equivalents. Next up we have the Force Riser. So once again, you're tripling the functionality because they're DX keys, but a lot of the sounds are repetitive. I would say with the Force Riser, pretty much they say their name, and then after that, every sound is the same for the 4. Sound effects are pretty much the same. The ability is always Zetsumerise, so can get a little repetitive after a while. And last but not least, we have the attached weapons. I might do 1 or 2 of these and see how different it is, but we'll see how it goes.
Rise key confirmed. Ready to utilize. Zetsumerise ability. Zetsumerise. Blade rise. Zetsumerise. Slash.
Yeah, so with these,
Charge rise.
let me take this one out. I'm pretty sure, I'll do this one just to be sure, but I don't even think they say the name of the key, so all the sounds should just be Zetsume, and they should all be exactly the same.
Low rise key confirmed. Ready to utilize. Zetsumerise ability.
Yeah, it's just Zetsumetsu ability. So, I mean, it's all four of these are going to have the exact same sounds with this, so I'm not going to bother going through all four of them. But again, I appreciate that because they're DX keys, they now have functionality with this, whereas the Candy Toy Gashapons did not. So at least you can use this with the weapons now. It'll say the Zetsumetsu ability. I mean, really, all four with this will be the same, but it is functionality you previously did not have. So I really like this set, but I can understand if a lot of people are probably going to pass on it. It really depends on if you picked up the Candy Toy Gashapon equivalents and how much you really care about these Zetsumerise keys. Because the thing is, they don't really do as much as the normal Prog Rise keys. They all have the same ability. They pretty much all have the same explosion sound. Most of the functionality with the Force Riser and the 0-1 driver and the Shot Riser, etc., etc., it's going to be pretty much the same sound effects over and over again. Now, of course, it's going to say their names. They have lights now as opposed to just sounds. They have the ability to kind of add to those impact sounds or the Shot Riser attacks or, you know, but it's going to be kind of the same sound effect. So it's almost like if you could buy one of these. So say you got the Zetsumerise and the two that came with that would give you the same sound effects in all of the items as these will, as far as the ability, the sound effects, the explosion sounds, all that kind of stuff. So maybe you don't care so much about this, and I can understand that. I mean, for me, visually, I love the cracked plates. I think that's really cool. Also, if it was up to me, I would have no Candy Toy or Gashapon keys, and I'd have DX keys for everything, because I just like to have lights and sounds, and the ability to, you know, be compatible with all the items. So this is really going to be kind of a your mileage may vary situation here. If you love getting DX keys and you want to replace your Candy Toy Gashapons, or maybe you never bothered to track down the Candy Toy Gashapon, so you're just going to get this and it's easier, I think it's a nice set. If you don't have any version of these keys, I definitely think it's worth picking up. I think the cracked plates look great. You know, the keys are good. Like I said, I wish they had more individualistic, I can say that, individualistic sound effects, but I understand why they don't. So like I said, I think it's a great set. I can understand if it doesn't matter that much to you and you want to save the money for something more exciting, but if you're a fan of the Zetsumerise keys, or you just never picked up the Candy Toy Gashapons, or you're just looking to upgrade, I think it's a nice set for what you get. So that's going to do it for this one. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.